Hey, everybody, welcome back to What the Health. I am Dr. Greg Eckel, your host, and I have Tom Paladino, and he is a holistic medical expert, scalar energy researcher, and humanitarian based in Florida. Super fascinating, as we were just discussing on how he got into this topic. Scalar energy is the fundamental life force found everywhere in the world, in space and the universe. It originates from the sun and the stars, chi, prana, Om, mana, life force, pyramid energy, or 0 point energy are all synonymous terms for scalar energy. Tom theorized that all energy in the universe initiates as scalar energy, and that the sun of our solar system and the stars of the universe are the points of origin, the storehouses, quote unquote, for scalar energy. He further theorized that scalar energy is instructive energy, and as the entire universe is instructed by its divine essence. Subsequently, all spiritual, cognitive, emotional, and physical action in the universe is initiated and maintained by scalar energy instructions, and scalar energy provides order in the universe. This one is near and dear to my heart because I just got back from Egypt, Tom, where we got to spend some time in the pyramids. So I asked you, what in the world, how did you get into number one on the trail of scalar energy? And you responded with studying Tesla. And I said, okay, hold it. We're going to take this on the air because I want to know what possesses one to study Tesla and get into this.
Thank you, Doctor. Thanks for the invite. Well, you have to have a love for science. I've always loved science. I've always loved inquiry. And I did study Tesla 50 years ago as a youngster. And I said to myself, this man's a genius. And I realized later in his life, many of his instruments were scalar energy instruments because Tesla claimed that he was able to capture free energy from the cosmos. Well, much like a pyramid can capture scalar energy, Tesla developed instruments that captured scalar energy. So another synonymous term could be pyramid energy, because many pyramids will, if you will, work as like a capacitor for these cosmic forces. So this is the other branch of science. It's not electromagnetic. It's the other energy, scalar energy. It's very real. And hopefully the world will someday embrace this as a free energy opportunity.
Interesting. Now, when I think of scalar technology or information, I know that it seems like this is a bigger, more accepted term in Russia. Like they use this with their astronauts, right?
Yes, that's correct. They call it torsion energy in Russia. But sadly, some countries are much more advanced than the United States or Canada, for that matter. Yeah. But you're right. Let's just take a look at many Asian countries. Well, the Asian culture has always embraced this concept of chi or prana or pyramid energy. They're right. They're accurate. There's two energies, electromagnetic and scalar. I prefer to work with scalar. It offers greater opportunity.
Electromagnetic or scalar. Yeah. Well, what are some examples, or like, how do you measure this? Like you're talking about free energy, and I have seen documentation of people gathering energy from the universe. I do it as a Chinese medicine practitioner, doing qigong and energy production, and you can feel it, through your hands and along those lines. But you have devices, you've invented devices that measure this.
Yeah, that's correct. So I have instruments that can control a scalar wave. It's a double helix in composition. And again, this is not electricity. So I have instruments that can control this energy and then broadcast it. So my instrument works not only as a capacitor, but as a satellite. I can send this energy anywhere in the universe. And the very fact that I don't need an infrastructure, Doctor, because the universe is the infrastructure. I don't need a substation. I don't need a power plant. I am accessing the infrastructure of the universe. Quite fascinating.
Well, let's do it. Like, what's stopping us here?
Well, it's just a matter of time. It's education. Once people realize that this is valid, that Tesla had free energy instruments, I have free energy instruments. And with these free energy instruments, I work with people by way of their photograph. People will email me their photograph. I don't work with people one-on-one. It's not a biological process. It's an informational process. I actually place a person's photograph inside the instrument. So I'm working with force fields. I'm working with information. It's all non-physical information.
You know, we do an interesting we use the voice as a hologram, very similar. The pursuit of radionics is also on the same wavelength, pun intended, maybe. So what I think you had a picture that you wanted to share of a device that you put together.
Yep. So these are custom built scalar energy instruments, and I'm going to share with the audience one of the instruments. That instrument will capture a scalar wave, which is a double helix. Scalar energy is not a movement of electrons. Scalar energy is consciousness. It's non-physical. That instrument captures information, or chi or prana. You're looking at a prana instrument. You're looking at a scalar energy instrument. And I actually take photographs and I place them in a receptacle right next to that instrument. And I work with people through their force field by way of their photograph. These are not one-on-one sessions. No, we're working in the non-physical spirit realm, or the force field realm, in which I can access a person's aura by way of their photograph.
Interesting. And so then what does that, I mean, so you developed that. I don't know, it's a little mind-blowing, right? So where do you go from there? You've got technology that is measuring basically in the quantum field,
Yes.
non-local, which is, there's a lot of science behind this. One, let me ask you, when people say, oh, that is so woo-woo, how do you respond to that?
Well, my predecessor, a man by the name of Dr. Hieronymus, I copied many of his instruments. Those are some of the instruments I copied. He has a US, a Canadian, and a British patent for a scalar energy instrument. So those three governments, I don't think, are wrong. In other words, he demonstrated a scalar energy device to those three governments. Now, is this tenable? Is this valid? Yes. When people send me their photograph, this instrument is able to pinpoint, say, a microbe, say, the hepatitis virus, on a person's photograph and eradicate the signal for the hepatitis virus on a person's photograph. Now, that is done in the information field. Lo and behold, 2, 3, 4 months later, people report to me that they went to a laboratory and they no longer have any viral load for hepatitis. So what am I saying? The cause is information. The effect is eventually some type of salubrious outcome.
Interesting. Yeah. So, you know, I've been saying for about a decade, I've been in practice 22 years, that the future of medicine is in frequency. So light, sound, scalar wave. You know, I kind of explain it as you're moving upstream to create factor change in the physical mattered spot.
Yes.
And so how do you talk about it?
Yeah, I like that. Now, there's a higher realm. If this is a physical realm, then the auric realm or the etheric realm is that of information, which instructs the physical realm. So I'd much rather be in the driver's seat, so to speak, and instruct nature with scalar energy. That's what this is. Scalar energy serves as the instructions of nature. And we can also instruct a virus. We can instruct a virus to disassemble or to fragment, or we can instruct scalar energy to balance the brain waves. Now that's all information. It's non-physical. There's no chemical involved. So we are way beyond the physical realm. We are at the etheric realm, or the auric realm, the spirit realm.
Yeah, I love it. So with this component of instruct nature, why do you need the picture?
Everything has an energy, a signature. My photograph placed in an instrument will tell the instrument to go find my energy field or go find my aura. It's not a biological process, it's an informational process. So I can instruct the instrument. And one of the ways I instruct the instrument is by placing my photograph in the instrument, and the instrument will send healing energy to me because it identifies me through my photograph. Quite profound.
Yeah. Will you share some more stories of folks that you've worked with?
Yep. Yeah, I've been working with an HIV/AIDS clinic in Delhi, India. The clinic is by the name of Om Prakash. Now, I've worked with over 5,000 people at an HIV/AIDS clinic, and everybody that I've worked with at this clinic is telling me that they feel better. After I work with these people, they're sharing with me the results that they no longer have a viral load. That's a group photograph from Om Prakash. It's an HIV clinic in India. And I've received over 5,000 photographs of people at Om Prakash who were at one time HIV positive. And after working through their auric field or their etheric field, everybody's reporting to us that they feel better, they don't have opportunistic diseases, and that if they had a follow-up PCR test, those PCR tests are not detectable. There's no detectable viral load. So we're very proud of this clinical study. Again, this is a clinical study in the cloud. It's non-local, as you mentioned. And this really begs a new definition of science. This is non-local action. This is non-physical. And the results are stellar. So per se, what I'm doing is not Newtonian physics. This is not Western science. It's a new branch of physics.
Yeah. Yeah, it is super fascinating. And I think, you know, why I wanted to invite you on to kind of share the information so people could hear about it, see it, and meet you. I love that, you know, you're offering our listeners and viewers 15 days of free Scalar Light sessions for anyone in the world. And that's at your website, scalarlight.com. And we'll put that in the show notes for folks. Any last parting information, words, encouragement for folks?
I'm going to give everybody encouragement. The human mind and the heart operate by scalar energy. Now just think, you need instructions to operate your mind, your brain, and your heart, your circadian rhythm. So everybody possesses scalar energy, scalar light. It's the animating force of our mind and our heart. So tap into that life force energy. That's positive thinking, that's prayer. Some people call it meditation or chi. Everybody has the potential to be a scalar energy expert. You might not realize that, but everybody possesses scalar energy.
Ah, I love it. Thank you, Tom, so much. Everybody, you know, this is one of those topics you will not hear on the nightly news. If you enjoyed our talk today, please go out, give us a 5-star review on your favorite platform, and tell people what you learned here today, because this is the way that we make the change in the world. We want to be the change, and this is how we do it. Tom, I'm really excited to take a look at your 15 days of free Scalar Light. I love that technology, and thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks, Doc.